SketchUp Free is the best software for beginner interior designers to learn. Firstly, because it's free. I know that that is like obvious, but I think something that most people miss is when you're learning a CAD program, the cost of it can be quite inhibiting because so much software out there is so expensive, and they'll give you like a month free to access the application, but actually it takes longer than a month to learn CAD software. So it by the time you've actually used that month up, you don't really know the software, and then you have to make a decision whether, oh, do I invest in it, hundreds and hundreds of dollars or pounds to do that, or do you just find something else that's a bit more affordable? So SketchUp Free is brilliant for that because there is no limitation. It's free, and it's free forever, which is brilliant because it means that you can learn at your own pace. You can look at the software, learn how to draw in 2D, learn how to draw in 3D, learn how to present information, then really understand the concepts of drafting and drawing and modeling without all the limitations that are imposed on really expensive CAD software, which I've used quite a lot of. And I think it's kind of a bit cheeky because a lot of places push software, like for example universities, and I point to myself because all of the software I learnt was at university, and universities are paid to push specific software. So it's not particularly, and it's always the most expensive software, right? So it's not usually because they're not teaching you that because that's the best or that's industry standard. They're teaching you that because that's who approached them and gave them the best deal for giving them all of the software for that course. So there's an affiliation that hasn't been made obvious. So maybe a conflict of interest there. Anyway, let's look at why SketchUp Free is the best for beginner interior designers. Firstly, yes, it's free. Secondly, it's in a web browser, so you can access it anywhere. Also means that you don't need to download software onto your computer, which, just alleviates a lot of the problems involved with, having large amounts of storage, a fast computer, huge, drives and, HD cards that, most people just don't have these days or can't afford. Next, it's because you can start with it straight away. I think it's just invaluable that you can literally create an account and start modeling today, like right now. There's nothing getting in your way. Also, because the interface is so simple, that's actually to your benefit because there obviously is the pro version of SketchUp, but SketchUp Free is a more basic version of it. But that's to your advantage because, in fact, having, because you've got on the left and on the right, you've got two menus, and simplifying those menus just makes everything so easy because it focuses your attention on the one thing that you're meant to be learning, which is how to draw. So how to draw in 2D, how to draw in 3D, how to model. And that's all you need to do without getting confused with all of these other features that you don't really need at the beginning. What you want to do is learn how to draw, learn how to model, learn how to present information properly. And that's why SketchUp Free is really the best program because you don't have the limitations around price, you don't have limitations around using it, or like you don't need a specifically fast computer, an excellent computer to do this. It's just something you can do straight away. So firstly, when you're trying to find the tools for example, I'm just going to say if you're using the pro version as opposed to the free version, when you're trying to find all the tools, because SketchUp evolved over time, some things in the pro version aren't actually as intuitive as you would expect. And obviously I've been using now SketchUp for over 20 years and it's evolved. And because of that evolution of the program, it can be a little bit frustrating. So you don't want to go straight into the pro version when you're a beginner designer, because all of those nuances that we all got to grips with as pro users, you'll find infuriating and just will become inhibitive to learning the thing that you're trying to do, which is just learn to draw. So if you're using the free version of SketchUp, it makes so much more sense because they've designed it only recently, so within the last 5 years, to be very specific as a, as a very simple tool to use and learn. And that is where the beauty of it lies, because there's no distractions. They've redesigned the whole interface so that it actually is like a new and improved version of SketchUp. It's just that, well, it's free, which is just madness. I love it. So if you want to use SketchUp free, there's not a lot of information out there about it. So have a look at our interior design mentorship, which has a free SketchUp course on it. So how to learn SketchUp free is something I've actually got a course on. So check out our mentorship and have a look at our SketchUp free course. It's absolutely fantastic. It's broken down into bite-sized chunks, and if you've ever struggled to learn SketchUp before, finally you'll have a way to move forward with SketchUp, and you can always ask me any questions you have as you go along.